WGC-HSBC Champions, Xander Schauffele wins title. Xander Schauffele beat Tony Finau in a playoff to win the World Golf Championships-HSBC Champions in Shanghai. -14 Schauffele, 1 playoff, Finau -10 Rose -8 Aphibarnrat, Putnam. Xander Schauffele beat Tony Finau in a playoff to win the World Golf Championships-HSBC Champions in Shanghai. The 25-year-old birdied the final 2 holes to card a 4-under 68 and then birdied the par 5 18th to secure a third PGA title. Finau, who carded a final round 71, had to lay up after finding the bunker in the playoff and missed a 20-foot birdie putt to hand the title to Schauffele. Defending champion Justin Rose finished third after a closing 72. Justin Rose faltered over the closing stages at the WGC-HSBC Champions for Tony Finau to take a 3-shot lead into the final day. Englishman Rose turned in 33 to open up a 1-shot lead at Shanghai International Golf Club. But Rose, who could move back to the top of the world rankings with a win, dropped 3 shots on the final 2 holes to sit 3 off the lead alongside American duo Patrick Reed and Xander Schauffele. Rose found the hazard at 17 and the water at 18 for Finau to end up with the same 3-shot lead that he had started the day with. X27 am looking forward to tomorrow, Finau, the American Ryder Cup player, told the European Tour and X27's website after closing his round of 70 with 3 birdies. X27 V got a world-class field chasing after me. This is the position you want to be in, and I in X27 LL be looking to close out my first tournament in this position, which is exciting for me. Whether it happens or not, it in X27 an experience that you learn from and you continue to move forward. It was great to birdie the last 3. It in X27 always a nice way to finish no matter what position you in X27 re in. I didn't and X27 have a lot going my way for the first half of the day and Rosie was making his run. I was just really pleased I was able to finish that way and get some momentum going into tomorrow. Finau boosted his hopes of a first European Tour win at just the 20th attempt with a strong finish. The big-hitting 29-year-old from Utah picked up a shots on the par 4 16th and then almost made a hole-in-one on the 17th. The birdie was enough to see Finau regain the lead and his length off the tee allowed him to take advantage of the par 5 last. While Finau completed his big finish to get to 13 under, there was trouble lurking for others. As well as Rose and X27 problems, Reed found the same hazard at the 17th but got up and down to drop just a single shot. Rose surrendered a double bogey on the 17th and then lost another shot on the last to drop to 10 under. Reigning Race to Dubai champion Tommy Fleetwood is 5 shots off the lead alongside American Andrew Putnam. Fleetwood had been 1 off the lead after birdieing the 3rd, 4th and 10th and dropping a shot on the 5th. But he triple bogeyed the 14th after finding the water before picking a shot back up on the last. Putnam made 1 bogey in a 67 to sit a shot ahead of Thai Kyrod Aphibarnrat and fellow American Keegan Bradley, who both fired rounds of 70. Jason Day was at 6 under, a shot clear of Thorbjørn Olesen, Patrick Cantlay and Billy Horschel. Rory McIlroy and X27 problems continued with his 75 and the 4-time major champion is tied for 60th on 8 over. 1 month on from the Ryder Cup and the WGC-HSBC Champions promises to stage a renewal, as 2 Americans and 2 Europeans fill the top 4 spots on the leaderboard in China. Leading the way is Tony Finau, who carded an eventful second round 67 which first saw him overhaul compatriot Patrick Reed with 5 birdies and 10 holes, before an unfortunate bounce resulted in a double bogey at the 11th. Finau dropped another shot at the 13th before rallying with 3 birdies over the closing 5 holes to reach 11 under par and a 3-shot lead. I and X27 am really pleased, he said. I played nicely and was happy with the way I finished. I was pleased to make a few birdies coming down the stretch. There and X27 a lot of great players here that are looking to chase me down. I and #X27 got to stay in attack mode, continue to make birdies, and if I limit the mistakes, I think it will be a good weekend. Reed is tied for second after a level par 72 and has been joined by English duo Justin Rose and Tommy Fleetwood, who shot 68 and 67 respectively to move into threatening positions on the leaderboard. Rose, the defending champion, could return to number 1 in the world with Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson way down the leaderboard, but his focus will be on producing a weekend akin to that which saw him overhaul both those players and win this title a year ago. For Fleetwood, whose sole defeat at the Ryder Cup came to Finau in the singles, another opportunity to confirm his rise to the game, and #X27's elite beckons after he contended for the US Open earlier this year. Fleetwood matched Finau in taking advantage of all 4 par 5s at a course which continues to reward long, straight driving, further evidenced by Xander Schauffele sitting in 5th and Patrick Cantlay in 6th. Star of Friday was a former Ryder Cup player, Thomas Pieters, who made 7 birdies and an eagle in a round of 64, the best of the day by fully 3 shots and equal to the score Reed managed on day 1. Pieters sits in a share of 7th and on the fringes of contention, whereas a miserable 77 Rory McIlroy slumped to 58th in an event where his previous worst finish is a share of 11th place. Francesco Molinari sits ahead of just 7 players in a field of 70 on 7 over, while Johnson and Koepka appear unlikely to threaten at 3 and 2 over respectively. Masters champion Patrick Reed fired a flawless 64 to take the lead after day 1 of the WGC-HSBC Champions in China. Starting on the 10th, Reed put together an outward 32 which he matched on the opposite 9 to reach 8 under and a 2-shot lead over compatriots Tony Finau and Xander Schauffele. "It feels great," said Reed, Sky Bet and #X27's new 9 halves favorite. "To be able to come out here and to be the first event back and to feel like I hit the ball really solid. I had full control, especially with how windy it was today. It felt really good because if you can go out and shoot rounds like that in these kind of conditions, you know you and #X27 going to have confidence when the wind dies down and there are perfect conditions out there. I really just need to keep on taking it day by day and try to shoot the lowest round I can each day. Hopefully I and #X27 shoot a couple more of these rounds. I think that will help me out." England and #X27's Matthew Fitzpatrick sits alone in 4th after an 8-birdie 67, with Tommy Fleetwood among a group on 4 under which includes Rafa Cabrera Bello and Billy Horschel. "I knew I had to stay patient," said Fitzpatrick, who was 2 over through 4. "I really love playing this golf course, it suits my eye well. I played a really great pitch on the par 5, 14. That just sort of got my round going, basically." Fleetwood, who was frustrated to close with a bogey at the difficult 9th, added, "You can and #X27 win tournament on day 1, so you just try and put yourself in position and build some momentum, and today was a good day for it." New World number 1 Brooks Koepka lacked spark in a level par 72 which included just 1 birdie and 1 bogey. And alongside him is Rory McIlroy after a far more eventful round which saw him fight back from a double bogey with 4 birdies over his closing 8 holes. Playing with McIlroy, Dustin Johnson labored to a 2 over 74 while Francesco Molinari, a former winner of the event who is defending his healthy race to Dubai lead, slumped to a 4 over 76. Reed is no stranger to starting well at Shanghai. He opened with a round of 65 in 2015 and 66 last year, and capped a fine day with a rare birdie at the 9th, one of just 4 players in a 77-strong field to do so. Schauffele was also bogey-free but had to wait for the 17th, his 8th, for a first step in the right direction. He birdied 5 and 6 from there and added 1 more at the short, par 4 7th hole. There was just 1 mistake on Finau and #X27's scorecard, a bogey at the 6th, while Fitzpatrick matched Reed and #X27's birdie haul and came close to becoming the first man in the event and #X27's history to make 6 in succession before finding sand at the 3rd.